The hell is that? I like the intro. I'm hiding the hairy legs. Next time, cover up them hairy legs and hairy hobbit feet. How's the audio quality? Get my last messages here. What's up with YouTube always verifying everything now? Damn. Jeez Louise. Hello, Chris Marie. Why is it asking me to display a code which I didn't get? What the hell is wrong with these people? Now they're gonna screw up my whole stream. Freaking YouTube. This must be part of the weird censorship thing going on. I feel uncensored. I may have to rewind this a little bit. Well, send me a freaking code, man. Enter the code displayed on your device, and it's not giving me a freaking code. Messed up. going to rewind this one more time. Just sit tight. I got to get this straightened out before I can continue. I'm back. Sorry for the dead air. I'm almost ready. I kind of rushed it. Says I'm waiting for Al. I don't know if Al's going to come on here, but here's what it is. Enough of this nonsense. Yep. It's freaking hot in here, man. I know it's Florida in the summer, but it's hot. Hotter than normal. Well, I say it is hot. Remember these guys? You know, George, you are a globalist piece of crap. Read my lips, now your taxes. I wish I had a Biden puppet and Obama and Trump. Did they make Biden and... You are a stupid a-hole. And it's Reagan for the knockout. And the 80s was a great time. What a great time. Morning in America with Ronnie. Thank God, Hairy Legs is done. Hairy Legs is done. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I want to talk about this Deadpool and Wolverine because I got to see it. Didn't pay because somebody offered to take me. And normally I wouldn't support that creepy Disney. Creepy and weird, weird, weird. They are pretty creepy and weird. That's the new buzzword. Weird. Have you noticed? Do you know what I'm talking about? If you're politically savvy, you know what? Weird. Weird. Why's my monitor so high? Oh, that explains it. Well, let me pull this down. Now this will go up. That's a little better. Let me center that. That's a little better. Meh. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. So if you're not interested in these movies, and you can skip over this, come back when I unbox the toys. But for the rest of America that went in droves to see this movie, it was, first of all, if my audio is good, Chris Marie, let me know if you could hear me. You know, I got to tell you, it's the same criticism that everyone's going to levy against this movie. However, in my case, I want to even like be a little more specific. So, for somebody like me that's watched these Marvel movies back from, geez Louise, I mean, Blade, I guess, was Blade the first ones, then X-Men. So really from the 90s now, right? We're going back a quarter of a century watching these movies, invested in them. And Fox actually made a lot of good movies. They had some bombs, but they had a lot of good ones. And so this was sort of like the send off to the Fox universe, if you want to call it that, and tying it into the MRCU with that horrible multiverse hook or um, I don't know, excuse. It's an excuse or a tool, a method to use to tie in all these different studios. And here is my let me get to the crux of this. What I can't stand about this TVA, besides the fact that it's cheesy as hell. Okay, and we know they nerfed the Infinity Stones. I won't get into all that, that common stuff that's been covered. But here is my biggest gripe with this, because it started off with this, and these there's going to be spoilers up the wazoo. The time variance authority exists because I guess theoretically there are people that could threaten the entire existence of universes or timelines, right? Why is it that when they send a plethora of soldiers, an army, a veritable army, a battalion, a legion, a squadron, I mean, they should be theoretically like the Navy SEALs of time monitoring, the Delta Force, the Rangers, right? But what you get is this like DEI squad of incompetent buffoons, and they're all carrying batons. You know what it looks like? It looks like if you ever watch these videos in the UK of uh, foot cops, beat cops trying to arrest, and sometimes they're out of shape. Sometimes they're smaller women trying to arrest large men, and they get either pummeled or the perps escape easily. And so every time the TVA, oh, virtually every time, they get thwarted and foiled because they look like an incompetent Keystone Cop DEI squad. The other thing is they're carrying these batons that sort of like dematerialize the people. Hey, Bong Donkey, how are you? It dematerializes them into like this. Where do they go? The void. So you're telling me, like in the beginning of this movie, that there's like 30 of these freaking soldier types, and they're all carrying this baton. All they have to do is touch you, and you disappear. And they're so effing incompetent that not one of them can do this. And Deadpool slaughters all of them, literally slaughters them. I don't know, 30, 40 of them. This is supposed to be the cream of the crop to monitor existence across every plane. So, how the hell can I get invested into this movie when it starts off so preposterous with these incompetent bozos that can't do the most rudimentary job is in touching somebody with a baton. You would think you could just throw the damn baton at the guy. But no, they sit there and get impaled in the most hellacious ways, impaled in the groin, in the anus. It's so stupid in the head. And the other thing is, once he murders and slaughters, and keep in mind again, they're just trying to either capture or send him to the void. They're not even trying to kill him. So when he ultimately does get sort of captured, they don't care. They don't care that he murdered and slaughtered brutally like 3 dozen of these guys. Where the hell does that happen? Imagine it reminds me sort of like Terminator 1. Remember in Terminator 1 when he goes into the police station, if you saw the movie, and he just bulldozes the entire station and he just murders all of them. and with one or two survivors that conveniently turned up for Terminator 2. But then the police, they have like APBs. They're against them with a vengeance, right? But in the TVA, the time variant, they don't even give a crap. They're like, oh, well, he murdered 40 of our members. No big deal. It's almost like it didn't even happen. They don't care. And it's like, what's the point of this? It's just a joke. The other thing I will say, I like Hugh Jackman a lot. In fact, like I remember they made the Wolverine cartoon series after the Fox X-Men, and it was good. I actually bought, I have a lot of media, like the old cartoons, the X-Men from the 90s and Spider-Man from the 60s and stuff like that. I gotta say, to me, he's probably the number one. I would rank him ahead of Iron Man just because he's more like that feral anti-hero and he's more brutal. He's sort of like a wolf man, where Iron Man's not really like an anti-hero. He's like a troubled hero. And I think on a basic level, a primal level, Wolverine appeals to more people just from that sense of vengeance, revenge, brutality. And if you had to look at who carried the movie, I think it's Hugh Jack. And Hugh Jackman's a fantastic actor. Where I felt like Ryan Reynolds' comedy gets a little stale, and this is just my personal analysis. I'm not going to get into a whole review of the movie. I did enjoy the fight scenes. I mean, the other thing, and again, the inconsistency. Like, there's scenes where they're fighting. Wolverine's impaling him with the claws, and there's a scene where Deadpool's behind him, pulls out both guns. They look like 45s, right? And he's shooting like emptying two magazines into his like kidneys, his sides over here. So you're talking, I don't know, 30 rounds. I'm assuming 15, one in the chamber, 14 in the magazine. And Wolverine, like, and both of them, and granted, they're supposed to have healing factors, but in the old days, they would have to recover, like old days being their previous movies. In this movie, when they're fighting, it's as if nothing hurts them at all with any um, duration whatsoever. They just shrug it off as if nothing happens. I don't know, like adrenaline somehow fuels instantaneous recovery. It's almost like they're not getting hurt at all. So that's the other thing I found a little, come on, give me a break. Like it's just too damn inconsistent. The other thing is Ryan Reynolds to me, he's a hawker. And by that I mean this dude is all over the place. He sells like Mint Mobile. He sells his what did he have? Gin. It was an aviator gin, I believe. So he's like a carnival barker to me. And after a while, I'm like, dude, I don't need to see you everywhere. So that's it as far as as a Hugh Jackman fan, he in my opinion, if you want to say he portrayed a straight man, he carried the movie clearly. And Ryan Reynolds' humor after a while gets tiring. That's my opinion. Then the story itself, if you want to say that, again, this is for like these Marvel fans, that Cassandra, what's her name, as Charles Xavier's evil sister, was the big bad villain. So, at the most basic story of Cassandra Nova, I think it is, in the womb when whoever birthed Charles and his twin, which would be Cassandra, Charles supposedly knew she was so evil that he did a psychic attack in the womb, if I remember the story correctly, and killed her in the womb. It's like so funny to me. And then she somehow survived in the sewer as a clump of cells. This is her sort of origin. And somehow from that, she ended up having all kinds of crazy adventures in the Shi'ar Empire, in Genosha, murdering like a crazy, crazy psychopath. So to just have her in the void, never have been exposed before, to me seemed like a little a bit of a miss and a wasted opportunity. If it was me, I would have put maybe Ian McKellen didn't want to do it, reprise his role. I would have had Ian McKellen in The Void as Magneto. That would have been far more consistent with all the previous movies. Not just introduce somebody that really could have had her own arc with just amazing power. She's actually overpowered, but it didn't make a lot of sense. So from that perspective, I also didn't like. Now I enjoyed some of the comedy. I enjoyed when he put the mask on. Obviously, I enjoyed the Chris Evans cameo, if you will. But that even that didn't make sense to me. So Deadpool's shenanigans, if I'll call it shenanigans, gets Johnny Storm because he ended up being Johnny Storm. It gets him murdered. For what reason? Like, why were you such a dick? He was just like a dick for no reason. That whole thing didn't make sense. And even Johnny Storm's fight with, I guess it was Pyro, didn't make any sense at all. So he's shooting his fire attack. And first of all, why would you shoot it at Pyro? You had like the whole cornucopia of villains in this area with Cassandra Nova. Why would you shoot it at Pyro? The one equally matched villain that has fire powers. And then the other thing is, how did Pyro just sort of absorbed it? And why would that even make Johnny Storm weaker? I don't get that. It wasn't really explained. So it was a very choppy story. But here's my conclusion. I will conclude it this way. Disney and Marvel have been such crap, absolute garbage for 5 years now, half a freaking decade, that they were like New Coke. If New Coke lasted for 5 years and people were so desperate for anything like the original classic that they said, screw it. We're so happy that this isn't like what we've been getting for half a decade, the absolute garbage and trash that Marvel's put out, that we're willing to support anything. And over here, if you see, it made close to half a freaking $1 billion in a weekend. So there is my conclusion on Wolverine versus Deadpool. And yes, I put Wolverine first because that's how it should have been. I think he's a far better actor. And that's that. And by the way, thank you we finally broke 1 million views, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, I'm going back to Reagan, my Reagan puppet. So I'll explain to you why I have these. I actually have a Rocky Balboa too. So I have the Gipper and this idiot Bush Sr. because my older brother actually had collected some stuff, and he's been, what do you call when you start say downsizing, when you start selling off your stuff? Is it downsizing? He's just Chris Murray, you would know. What the hell is it called when you're just eliminating a lot of your crap? Not downsizing because it's not moving to a smaller place or anything. Decontenting or something like that. Becoming a minimalist. But anyway, so some stuff he gets like this is pretty cool. I'm like, no, don't throw that. I said, don't sell it. It's like $10 on eBay. I said, just give it to me. So I took it, and I think it's just kind of funny. I have Rocky. I should get Mr. T. I know they made a Mr. T, and that's that on that. And I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, my friends, because I got a lot to do and a little time to do it. So with that, I'm gonna open a few toys. This one actually just came from, I believe, Portugal. John Carlo, if you ever watch. I'll tell you why I picked this up, because it's actually not a space toy, but I don't see it that often. And as a matter of fact, it's in my own website, previously Brian Hayes's website, Alphadrome, in the database, and I never saw it before, other than in that picture. So here it is. It's the Bump and Go, but it's not a space vehicle. It's a snow tractor. And I'm like, man, look at this. This looks totally like a space vehicle. So I'm like, man, I got to have a spacey snow tractor, even though I live in Florida. And I had to research because people were like, it should have a dome. And then on Alphadrome, I said, no, it's the way it's supposed to be. So we have, and also because it's the cool orange that I love. So check this out. It is freaking pristine. I mean, like, brand new. How's that, man? And this head has been used. This head here has been used on a gazillion toys, and it is KO. And they've made a ton of these, but not in orange. So not only is it a snowmobile, but it's freaking orange, man. I love orange. Orange, you glad I showed you this toy? So that is the bump and go. Josh, if you're on here, let me know because if I get tired, I may be motivated to open all everything behind me. If you're here paying attention, the other little gem. This is actually the second one. Oh, I'm so happy this is small. Ta-da! This is the Astroboy race car, which sold for I don't know how many millions of yen, and nobody saw it before. And then right after the auction, somebody puts it on freaking Yahoo Japan. I'm like, what the F? Because it looked like it was in better shape. So this is the one that came out of Yahoo Japan. And I said, well, I guess I got to upgrade already. And this one is absolutely pristine, pristine, pristine. Pristine like Christine. The box is friggin' awesome. But the other one wasn't bad. Look at that. Is that a beautiful sight to behold? So I'm not sure. Be honest with you, from the catalog at Mondaraki, it looked like, um, honestly, it looked like it had a few little, flaws, this, and that, and it was a boatload of money, man. I'm not lying when I say millions of yen. So it was expensive. But when I got it, it actually looked cleaner than it did in the picture, which is like a rare surprise. Normally, it doesn't happen like that. So I thought I was upgrading, but the other one is almost just as nice. So someone else will be a lucky recipient when I eventually get rid of it, of the extra. Now, I may have opened one of these too, and it's the same freaking thing. Right after it was almost well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, right? Because what happens is people sell or they see stuff at a major auction, even though it's rare as hell, and you're not used to seeing it. But when they get these crazy prices, they come out of the woodwork. So I had this in a reproduction box, and I picked one up at Mondaraki, boxed, but then another one popped up right after that auction. And I said, I think it might be better. I think I unveiled the box at my last live stream. Now, here's the other reason I'm doing this live stream is because I kind of open half the stuff and it's mixed and matched. In other words, like after this, I would typically make videos that you would see if you watch the toy videos. But then I realized, well, I opened some boxes without the toys. And so I need to kind of match everything up. So with that box that I just showed you, and I can blow through this quick because we're normally closed on Mondays, but we had Google, well, a company that represents Google. We're trying to get on Google, believe it or not, like we're not on Google as, I don't know, like a recognized business yet. So we have a company that did our like social media stuff, and they had to have a photographer come out. They did sort of a mini video by stitching together pictures. They'll do it. Where's my scissors? And open this remote. There's actually a version of this toy I'm going to show you that battery without the remote. I wish I had that one instead of two. Now I have three and two boxes. So, and I wish I had the one without the remote. These remotes with the steering wheel are a pain in the rear, man. They're hard to display. They take up a lot of room. The wire is thick as hell. But it's this Mercedes gull wing. Man, I'd love to have a gull wing. And it's got this big ass steering wheel. It's got this big ass wire. It's got this tape. Probably had a lot of stress back in the day. I'm gonna put this up here for now. Get rid of this. Oh, actually, I want to. There's so many plastic containers. And by the way, for those that know, that are in the know, for those that know, I actually have communicated directly with Kitahara. And at some point, I will tell you a surprise, because we may have been wheeling and dealing, but the only way you'll know is if you hit me up, if you're interested in that sort of stuff. And again, that I believe the one in the plastic tub came from Mom the Rocky. So now I have another one of the freaking same things. Is it an upgrade? Who the hell knows? As I'm opening this, Elon Musk made a post of the media. They latched onto this thing about um what was it? They latched onto something like all the if you want to call it the mockingbird media, they all started calling that JD Vance weird, and there's essentially every media in the United States saying he's kind of weird. He's weird. He's weird. Every newscaster. And I said, this is how brainwashing works. At the same time, I mean, look, I don't care politically where you stand, but the brainwashing and the astroturfing is unbelievable. Now, this one here, I could tell you one thing. It's definitely not an upgrade. The one from Mom the Rocky has to be nicer. Um, this one actually has a different remote. Maybe this has the correct remote. The other one, if Josh is on here or he sees this at some point, he can tell me. This is a friggin' mess. So this one has a little more crazing on it, and I think this is actually the right remote. Now, somebody put a weird sticker on here, but so who the hell knows? And you can see here, you see where that it kind of reminds me of the iPhone or iPad charging cables. They sort of split always at the point of most stress. But if I were to look at these two, come on, behave. Look at that. There's the. So this is the Mandaraki one. It's a little brighter. This is the other one. So yeah, this for the win. I'm gonna move this out of the way here. Maybe when Josh, like I said, when he sees this, he'll say, "This is the right remote. This is the wrong remote." Who the hell knows? All right, I'm making a mess here. This bad boy was on here. Oh man, we got a light crowd, light chatters. That's why I like when Al comes on. Al asks a freaking question every like 10 seconds. Much more engaging. So this here is another upgrade. I had this toy and I have the box, but I wasn't that happy with either of them. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy another one. Oh yeah, this oof. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Way cleaner. For the sake of time, I'm not going to take all this wrapping off because, and I actually, you wouldn't believe how many boxes I went through. I sort of like unwrap big chunks of these so I wouldn't have to sit here and waste your time watching me do this. But in fact, let me even get a little bigger. It is. Boom, chakalaka, boom, chakalaka. Maybe I could pull the front off. Yeah, let me cut it. I'm kind of curious to see. Oh man, this is sweet. It's clean, baby. There you go. That is clean and shiny. Holy moly. So I have one, like I said, it has a little bit of some spotting, nothing crazy, but yeah, this one is nicey nice, nice. This is the box for it. Should I open this too? I guess I better. Whoop. I guess I better because why not? I'm gonna have to open it sooner or later. Switch them out in the case. I think my box has a couple wrinkles, that kind of stuff. This one is. It looks very clean. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whoop. I'm not even gonna take it out of the plastic, but here you go. That is freaking sweet, clean, pressed, straight as a brick, square as a brick. So we will put it right there. That is cool beans, man. All right, what the hell is left? Hell's in here? I don't even know. I don't know what's back here. Working the pile down. What time is it? Damn. Now, for some reason, my office, it feels like the vent doesn't vent. And I had the AC guy here like a bunch of times, but the AC is working and it's new. Oh, look at this thing. Look at this thing. This definitely is not going to fit anywhere, but I feel like Superman ripping the bubble wrap. Ugh. Wow, not bad. This is kind of cute. Give you a peek. Astroboy on the fire truck. Bum, bum, bum. Anyway, it is so muggy. It's one of those Florida summers that it's not terribly hot, but the humidity is pretty lame. And you go out there and you just start sweating and you're like, oh, this sucks. Can't wait. See, we're opposite. Like, I can't wait for like the end of September. Whereas probably up north, you're like, I can't wait for summer. I'm like, oh shit, summer. Oh man, not summer again. And you know what's funny? All the tourists, I guess because schools are out, the tourists will come here in the summer. The kids, the college kids, they hang out at the beach at the worst time. Although, they don't have much clothes on, but they didn't see their dermatologist who said, hey kids, don't get too much sun. You might get cancer. They're getting their vitamin D. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know if this. So this is kind of one of those bump and go. You hit this lever, and that'll make the entire ladder pop up. And this is cool because it has both the vinyl Uran, and it has Astroboy, and it has some pretty cool lithography on here. Wow, that is a neat piece, man. We will put this fire truck here. Oh, we're winding that. No, let me go. So this, no, I'll open it. This I opened up actually. The box for this I opened up last live stream. And this is why I decided to do this kind of like spur of the moment because, like I said, I opened up the toys mismatched. Now this was a definite upgrade, but I love this toy. The box is plain. This toy is cool as hell. And check this out. This is the Astro Boy police car where he's kind of like flying through space in the universe. And again, mine was not the greatest. You see, they got the antenna bent in, which I will fix that later. But yeah, this is very cool. So now I have this in the box. For some reason, the box is not spacey. I'm put them up there temporarily. Sit tight, sit tight. I want to show you a couple of art pieces too. I don't think I showed the Mickey Mouse. I have no idea. I don't remember, but so this is actually a drawing of Droopy Dog from Tex Avery. Is it? It's an original production drawing, 1949. Well, directed by Tex Avery. We'll put these art pieces there. This is Jerky Turkey original production drawing from Jerky Turkey, directed by Tex Avery. These went so cheap. I just said, you know what? They're kind of cool. I remember Jerky Turkey, and I even eat jerk turkey. So that was just kind of cool. But this one's really cool. This is a Fleischer Studios sing along art piece, original piece of artwork from the sing along cartoon. So this is it's not a cell. I don't know if it was a background, but this is. I just thought it was cool. It's Father Time from the. So this is from 1920s and 30s, and I remember these cartoons. Believe it or not, they were syndicated. Let's see if you could read that there. You probably can't, but too small. I just thought it was cool, so I'll frame them, and even though I'm out of wall space, who the hell, I'll figure it out. So besides that, um, if I didn't unveil it, I know if you're following me on Facebook, the collection. So these are the certificates that came with the ones I showed you. But I also did pick up this awesome. This was a an original background from Disney's. Even though I don't like Disney now, I do like the early stuff. And that was, let me put that back. I don't think I showed it, but if I did, now you see the certificate. This is the original background from Mickey Mouse's 1929 haunted house. And it went for like half their estimate. A lot of the art went for really cheap. So I was pleasantly surprised. And the original pre 30 Disney stuff is impossible to find. So, the given the horror theme, which I like, that cartoon, I think it's 6 minutes and like 30 seconds long, is on YouTube. And to find original background art is really, really scarce. So you could look up Mickey Mouse Haunted House and look up the 1929 cartoon. And at around the 6 minute mark, you will see that original piano. And that was when the ghosts and skeletons had caught him and he was forced to play a tune to entertain them. And at some point, while all the skeletons were dancing, he got up and scurried away, tried to scurry away. So that's the image that you see there on the celluloid. What was it? The other thing that was interesting when I started watching the cartoon, there was some damage on the wall, paint peeling, things like that. And what I saw on the artwork was that the crack was in the wrong place. And at first I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't get ripped off. The crack is in a different place. But when they got to the part where he's at the keyboard, the crack was exactly where it was depicted on that artwork. So I was like, whew, thank God. So it's definitely authentic. And so that's just a little quirk, like they weren't even consistent in their artwork. All right, anyway, let's put this down here. We got two things to go through, and then I'm out of here, man. Who's left on here? Oh, it's a light crowd today. Well, you guys can watch this. I know my live streams get watched after the fact, so it's okay. I had to do this regardless, so I figure I might as well have some content and people could enjoy it. Oof, man, throw out so much packing material. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, now I remember. Oh. Boing. Oof. Hmm. Okay. So, in the spirit of economy, well, I'll open this one. Uh, the other ones I may have to. I don't know. Might be too time consuming. This is actually a Astroboy ray gun. I think I am done with Astro. I don't even believe they made any more Astro Boy 10. I hope not, because I don't have any more room and I don't want to buy any more. So this here, this is more ephemera, but I said the hell with it. This is a water pistol. I actually just like I like the orange color, the translucent kind of neon nature of this, and there is Astro Boy relief there. You can see on the handle on the grip. There's the Mushi production sticker. And yeah, so I mean, it's because of the kind of a jet shape. And like, what the hell? Yeah, so now I have the boink, boink. Hope the YouTube algorithm. So that was promoting violence. We'll open one of these. The other one is the tin plane. I don't know if I want to get that just because. What do I got left behind me? Oof, two more things. Oh, this is funny. This is a tin boat. Now it's funny because I just did the Ogon boat video. If you want your boats to survive, this is definitely the way you got to do it. Is leave them in the damn pack and never open them at all. I knew this was going to be a little tricky to open. I don't want to rip the original package trying to get this out of here, but I'll do it backwards. That should work. Oh wow, that's actually cool. Look, so this is a boat, and look, there's this figure in there. Got sort of like a bracket. Let me see if I show you this way. That's upside down. You see him hiding in there? That's pretty damn cool. And he's in his original card, and the graphics are pretty nice. Yeah. So now, what am I going to do with this? Who the hell knows? I'm not going to open them up out of the package. So yeah, I have to lean them up in the Astro Boy case somewhere. All right. Oh, what a mess I got in here. Holy Toledo. Keep that plastic wrap. All right. Let me get through. This is Toy Box, so that's encouraging, man. I'll do that quick. Well, the good news is that I was running out of videos, so now I have a lot of videos to make for August into September. Okay, which boxes are these? Don't know. I still don't know. Toss this over. Like a bag. All right, Mandaraki, what did you do here? Quite sure what toys these are for, believe it or not. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. These are small. Little gun box. Actually happy that the guns are this small. Another gun box. So I'm hoping that the weaponry is in here, and we're going to find out in a second. We are going to find out in a quick, hot minute. A lot of work doing this. Trying to go fast. With all the unpacking, pre-unpacking I did, it's still taking me forever. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I miss having my son here so I could say, "Come get this crap out of me." Because that means I gotta go organize all this junk and take it to the dumpster, which we have. By the way, see this? These shirts are available online with Robbie and the surfboard. Okay, so it's one gun here. Uh, I think I will. This is cool. It's sort of like almost reminds me of this the other gun. Reminds me of like those pirate flintlock pistols. I'm not gonna open them up because it's gonna take too long. But what's left here? Uh, hmm, I'll show you the fuselage of the plane because the wings are wrapped with something else, and that'll be pretty much the conclusion. What time is it? Holy moly, I'm starving too. Well, the good news is that we're gonna go out to eat. And last but not least, no, it's not an Astroboy vibrator. It's an Astroboy aeroplane. And eventually I'll put its wings over here. And he's on the tail fin. Again, it's nicer condition than what I was expecting. So let's put him there. I'm going to put the guns behind me. Yeah, and here. Whoop. And that, my friends, concludes unwrapping a shit ton of Astro Boy toys and showing you some artwork. So let's see. Is there anything else? No, that's it. Listen, I appreciate your time, whether you watch this live or whether you watch it later. So, you know what? Do me a favor. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, if you like this stuff. And I will try to give you more notice next time. But because we had to be here in an off day and I wanted to get this done, I sort of did it very short notice. So, thanks as always for your time, my friends. And I will talk.